Hi, guys.
What's up, man?
Hey,
Hi.
nice to be here.
Hi. What?
Man, nice to be here. What?
Talk into the mic,
I
sir.
am talking into the
There
mic.
you go. Now
Okay,
we can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah.
pull it closer.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Gotta make sure it's in the gullet.
It's his first time talking into a mic.
Yep. You would think he would remember doing something like this with a similarly shaped object.
Nah, it was bigger.
Talking about corn on the cob. Anyways, welcome to Mental Recovery. I'm Chris.
I'm Zach.
I'm just.
Shut up. So anyways. All right, bye. No, I'm just kidding. We're all friends. We're all here. This is a mental recovery podcast. It's going to be about mental health, how to recover from it, what you're feeling through it, all of the above from the male perspective, for the male perspective, just to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Just three friends talking. One not sure how to talk into a mic, but he's learning very quickly.
I already figured it out.
See, I told you quickly. We're great teachers.
They didn't teach me shit.
You can leave whenever you want.
Hey, if this is a mental recovery podcast, I'm the only one here who's actually gone to a therapist.
I've gone to a therapist.
Never mind. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I take back what I said at the beginning. All right, where do you guys want to start?
Tell us about yourself.
I was gonna say
We're not
introduce-
starting there. Where do you guys want to start?
I mean, we should probably introduce ourselves. Is that not a thing that should be going on?
I mean, should we? I mean, we kind of did. We said our names.
I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like they
but-
should know a little bit more about us.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
All right,
just a
Zach, go
little
ahead.
Zach, 28, lived.
This isn't an AA meeting. You don't have to be very...
I'm aware. Yeah, I've gone through a lot of mental stuff, and this seems like the best possible solution for me because to me therapy doesn't work at all. So I figure why not talk to my friends, my best friends, to try and work through everything, and they can provide input and tell me when to shut up when I need to.
All right, shut up. Justin, your turn.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I guess I'm going next. So Justin, 24. I know we said no AA meeting, but he did it, so I feel like I should.
Okay.
Obviously,
I mean,
I'm
it makes sense.
I think so. I think you'd had a good little way to do it, you know? So I got some things going on in my head. I think therapy does and doesn't work. It just gave me some insight as to what I was feeling, but most of the time when I got something going on, I just talk to one of these two.
Unfortunately for us.
Yeah, I'm the one here that is most open about how I feel about myself, which therapy had a part in that, but
I was like, that is true, though. That
Yeah.
part is true.
I needed
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
sometimes I needed an outlet. I've been through stuff. I understand a lot of different perspectives just because I've been through a lot in my life, but we'll go over that in a later date. Chris, your turn.
Hi, my name's Chris. I'm
Okay.
28.
Hi, Chris.
I've been drinking alcohol. Wait, this isn't. Sorry. Different
Wrong
thing.
meeting. Wrong meeting.
Different thing. Sorry.
wrong
sorry,
meeting.
Sorry. Oh, shit. What time is it? I have to go to... No, I'm just kidding. I'm not an alcoholic. I just like beer. Chris, 28. Same as these guys.
Well, same
lived-
as me, not as Justin.
I mean, sort of. But
he's Gen Z. We're millennials.
I think I'm actually still considered a millennial.
yeah, he still is.
Yeah, but you're still younger than us.
But he acts like us, all right?
Yeah.
True.
This is
That's why
my
we like
part
him.
of the show. All right.
You guys talked over mine.
Yeah,
and
we
talked
did. You're
over
right.
Justin's.
You're right.
He just told me to shut up.
Shut up.
See?
I will say that a lot to these two because they're my friends and I can say it
And we get off topic a lot.
very quickly.
Case in point.
So does he. I don't know where he gets off.
See,
but,
you
know.
still only know my name and my age. You don't know anything else yet because these two won't shut up. All right, that's all you're going to know about me. Sorry.
No, go.
Keep it going. We'll shut up.
Okay, thank you. Finally. Oh, man.
Why are you looking at me?
Because I know you're going to say something. But lived in the same town,
You're true.
same
You're right.
city, but it was more of a town. It was more of a town growing up in it. Now it's more of a city, so I kind of hate it here. Not going to lie. Went through a lot. Younger. Raised by my grandparents more than my parents because I just went over there all the time because they live right around the corner from me. Understand that they have a big part of how I am. I understand the recovery of what I had to go through was pretty easy compared to a lot of other people. But that's what this podcast is going to be about. It's about recovery. It's about going through mental illness, mental health, mental just anything, and seeing it from the male perspective. It's going to be mostly from our eyes, because it's just something that isn't talked about enough now. And it just, all three of us talk about it all the time. And we thought we should have other people listen and see your input and have you guys talk back and hear what you think about it, because it's something sad nowadays. It really is. Guys have to man up. They have to toughen up. They have to nut up or shut up. And that's not how it should be. It isn't. We all need to understand that mental recovery and mental illness is hard. Mental health is extremely hard. And all three of us understand that. We do.
Yeah.
So we want to be there for you, and we would like for you guys to be there for us as well. But where do you guys want to go? What do you want to talk about?
I mean, I think a good place to start is probably general upbringing. Maybe
All right.
a little deeper into it.
Yeah. All right, you brought it up. Now go.
All right, I guess I'll go. So I kind of had two upbringings, being that I come from a dad and a mom who were separated. I had two different lives in both of those houses that were very different from each other. One being with my mother and my stepfather, who I may not have ever had to worry about having a roof over my head or having food on the table, but it did come with a very strict and very rule-based house that brought its own struggles with it. Mm-hmm. And then the other house, I may have had to worry about having food on the table or whether we were going to have a roof over our head at the next possible opportunity. But I had a lot of support there mentally from them, from my dad mainly. My stepmother I may not have a great relationship with, but my dad always gave me the support that I needed. He, at every opportunity, has done nothing but encourage me. I love that man with my entire heart. He's given me everything he possibly had and struggled his whole life to give me that. Now, at the other house, I had no emotional support. I may have had things. I may have had to not have to worry about food. I may have not had to worry about having the roof the next day. It's where I was at most of the time. I was there during the week. I was on the weekend with my father. But what that did to me, being at that kind of a house with no emotional support, is it made it really hard to secure passion in my life. I don't find it a lot. It's very hard to find passion into anything, because anytime I did have passion, it was destroyed. It was constantly shut down or made it feel like it wasn't something that was worth my time. So now anything I do find passion in is not. It doesn't stick. Now,
Do you think your dad helped with that, though?
he did a little bit.
Yeah.
It was hard being that I was only there on the weekends. And then as I got older, going to work, I didn't see him as often around that really important time of your life, for at least a guy in my perspective at 16, when I had started to work. That 16 is when you're really building something.
Yeah.
It's where you're really looking as to, well, at least where everyone kind of points as, where are you going to go with your life? That's kind of a big question at that age. And I didn't know, because I wasn't seeing my dad. So yeah, I'd call, I'd text. We had that luxury of nowadays of always doing that. But at that time of my life, I was at a house where anytime I thought I knew what I wanted to do, it was shut down so hard, because it wasn't their idea of how my life should be. I've said it before that I don't think they were raising me. I think they were trying to turn me into them. And I am not them. I have a completely different outlook than they do on life and the world.
It's just one of those things that they, on that side of the family, it was more like, this is the road you need to take, so take it. And you're like, well, Dad, he always taught me to fulfill like myself instead of what you guys want.
Yeah, exactly. It was exactly that of, I want to take this road. I think I want to do this. That's not what you're doing. You need to go down this road. This is the road we took. Look where we're at. I'm like, my dad, he may be struggling, but I prefer it over there.
Yeah.
That tells me that he's doing at least something right with his life. That I'm happy. He's being a good father. He's doing what he can. It may be a struggle. And now at the portion of life I'm at now, I may be struggling, but it's probably the happiest I've been in my current situation. And it is nothing like the house where I didn't have to struggle. Struggle, I think, is important to a degree. Getting through that struggle is also important, which is what I'm trying to do now with my life. Just that house, it destroyed me mentally. That's where most of my issues, I think, came from. It was that house and relationships that I had been in, and just never feeling like I was enough.
So it's more of the relationship of I'm seeing this. This is not what I want, so I'm going to do the exact opposite. Because you have, people get raised different ways, right?
Yeah.
They see it as, okay, I'm going to be like my dad, but I'm also going to be like my mom, or I'm going to be whoever raised you. You always have certain things. But then there's also times that you see, okay, well, they hate each other. I don't want that, so I'm going to not do what they did because I don't want that.
Mm-hmm. It's very weird in my head because opposing outlooks.
Yeah.
Because there are things that they did teach me when it comes to things like money, which I was good with up until recently. But things like money and how to look for things and how to look for opportunities, they did guide me and teach me certain things that I still use to this day. Okay. And I still look at a lot of things they did and go, that is probably the right direction I need to go. But it comes to other things where I'm like, this is the direction they want to go, but I hated where that took them.
So is it more that side of the family taught you how to survive, but then your dad's side taught you how to love?
Yes, I would say that is a very good way to say it.
That's how you can see it?
Yeah, I would say that's a very good way to see it. And
it's very concise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just, I wasn't at that house enough at that important time in my life where I don't think I have enough love. I think I have too much survive, which causes some big problems in my life because I need to feel like a provider.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll touch on that going through the podcast about having to keep up with the image that every man has to be the provider for the family and bring home the bacon and all that stuff.
Yeah. I just need to feel, it's that need to feel adequate to live up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like you have to bring something to the table to actually be loved.
Yes, exactly. I have to feel like a commodity.
Yeah. No, that's really what it is. All right. Let's go on your upbringing.
I grew up in a house out here, and it was basically just me, mom, dad, sister, grandparents, and we all grew up very close. When we were going, or when my sister and I were going to school, my grandparents would constantly say that we can't bring anybody over and all that stuff. So I suppose you could say I grew up very sheltered. Didn't have many friends, didn't have anybody coming over, all that stuff. And that's just the way it was. That's what I know. I know not to bring a lot of people over unless they're really close. The only issue with that is because I didn't bring anybody over, nobody got close, except for these guys. I mean, I don't even think you've been to my house yet.
No, I don't think I have. Weirdly. I picked you up from your house.
True. You've been in front of my house.
I haven't been in.
Also, the difference is I've known this guy for 12 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've known these two for two.
A couple years.
Two now?
Yeah.
I think two.
But my upbringing was sheltered. Very closed off. Very, basically just alone. I learned a lot. I learned a lot on how to be alone. How to just fend for myself and go out and just not even do anything. Just hang out at the house, watch TV, be on the computer, that kind of stuff. And I was fortunate enough not to have to grow up in a broken home. Not saying that your home was broken, but just saying that's typically the phrase that they use.
Yeah.
I mean, again, to a certain extent, you would say it's a broken home, but it's healthier to live in two healthy households than one broken one.
Yeah, it's just upsetting that one of my houses may not have been the healthiest.
Yeah. I did, however, mostly grow up for the first part of my life without my dad. He didn't pass away. He was just locked up for a decently long time, and that's why my grandfather was mainly the driving adult male force in my house, because that was all that was there. It was mom, grandpa, grandma, sister.
Yeah, he was the father figure for the time being.
Yeah. But we'll touch on all that stuff when we get around to it, which we will. We'll touch on everything. But yeah, that basically sums me up. Your turn.
Let's get into the deep stuff.
Oh, we will.
All right, I grew up in a box. No, I'm kidding.
Grew up off the freeway.
Yeah. No, these guys know. Like, we're in my house right now. I grew up in this house my whole life. I think 2 years when I was born, we lived in a different one. My dad got this house. We've been here ever since. Grew up with both my parents, with my sister and with my brother. Brother's older, 10 years older. Sister's only a year older. But I didn't grow up in the healthiest relationships for my family. My mom and dad have been together for quite a while, but it's never been the healthiest relationship. So it's kind of taught me both good and bad, but I try to base everything more off my grandparents because that's who I was raised by more. My grandparents lived 2 houses next to me. I was there every day, 6 p.m., had dinner with them, watched Jeopardy, watched Wheel of Fortune, did all the fun stuff, but my grandma taught me everything. That was my best friend, closest person. When she passed away, that hit me the hardest. But again, we'll get into that more later down the road. But from everything I was taught, like, it was the same. I was very, very sheltered. I went to one school that was a fundamental school, so that's kindergarten to 8th grade, and then went to high school. Like, I went to 2 schools, so that was it. I grew up with the same people, around the same people, same families, just all the time. That's why I always say this city used to feel more like a town, because I still know 80% of my street. I can still go down almost every one of these houses, knock on the door, and hey, Chris, how are you? There's no one down this street that's strange. Like, there's the dumb things that say, like, oh, have you ever seen your neighbor bring in the groceries? And a lot of people are like, no, I haven't. I help my neighbors with their groceries.
Yeah.
Like, it's just always been different here. So even the street just felt more sheltered. But it was the same way. I wasn't really bringing that many people over because same thing. We were always doing something with the house. And my mom, it's too messy. I don't want people seeing it. Yada, yada, yada. Mom things. But at the end of the day, I still had my friends. People across the street went to school with me. People on the other side went to school around the corner. The other house went to the same church. So everybody was together here. There's not really that many people that I look at that I don't know down this street. So it was very sheltered that way as well. I could walk to school every morning and not be worried about anything. But again, we'll get more into it. So I don't really see that much mental for the upbringing there. It wasn't until a little bit later in life that I started really needing help, because I just did not understand that much because of how sheltered I was.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand. Asking for help is one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's insanely hard. I still have trouble asking for help unless it's you guys, and even then, it was hard at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll always be there to help whenever you need it.
Exactly. That's why I'm able to now.
It's just everyone's scared of being judged for help, but nobody ever really is judged for asking for help.
God, no.
Like, that's just what it is. People are afraid to ask because they think they're going to be judged. But if somebody's judging you because you're asking for help, just ignore them. Like, that's really all you got to do. We'll talk about it, but it's the same as you go to the gym, right? You're a bigger guy and you're on the treadmill. People are going to look at you and go, oh, why is this big guy here? Look how big he is. If he actually cared about himself, he never would have gotten that big.
Yeah, he's there to better himself, and you're sitting there judging him.
Now he's helping himself. Now he's asking for help.
I feel that way as a skinny guy.
But that's what I'm saying. It's also for us.
Yeah.
But
people with twig arms.
Judging. But again, we're friends. We understand.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. It's one of those things that you're afraid to ask for help because of that's how males are supposed to be. Yep. We're just supposed to provide. We're supposed to just already know.
You can handle it on your own.
I think it's at the fear of looking weak.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do it yourself?
That is the exact thing.
Yeah, you want to be the alpha male.
I don't even want to be the alpha. I just don't want to ask for help because I don't want to be looked at like I'm weaker than whoever I'm asking.
That's alpha.
That's alpha.
I don't want to be an alpha.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is a lot of guys.
I want to coincide with another alpha.
But that's just how it goes.
There can only be one leader in the wolf pack.
Yeah. So that's just how it goes. It's just guys are supposed to be the alpha. Guys are supposed to just already know what they're doing, bringing home the bacon, staying tough. Something happens to your family, you got their back. Something happens to a friend, you've got their back. It's just, at the end of the day, it's not that. At the end of the day, a man should not be loved based off what he brings to the table. At the end of the day, a man should just be loved. Not that many people, again, to a certain extent, look at a female and just go, well, I can't love you because you're not making enough money. you will hear that as a guy.
Absolutely.
You will hear, I cannot love you because you're not bringing home the money.
Yeah, that's why they have the whole area, or not area, the whole subsection basically dedicated to who they call gold diggers.
Yeah.
The only way they'll be in a relationship with you is if you have money. And that's all they care about. You lose the money, okay, you lose them.
There are even some scenarios where they'll still love you, but they just won't be with you because you don't have enough money. And it's that whole outlook changes.
Yeah.
It's, unfortunately, I've never looked at a girl I've dated and been like, oh, you don't make as much as me? Bye. What? I've never had to worry about it. Never had to tell someone that. I've been told that. But
yeah. I was like, you've also been in one relationship that was quite a while.
yeah.
And then now you're in a healthy relationship. And again, we'll touch on that subject. And you at first did not know what to do because you were so afraid of something healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, that's something we'll talk about future date. But it is one of the problems. It is one
She's
of those.
nice. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it is one of those things that
She's
we get.
nice, something's wrong.
We get so used to something so broken and having to be the man and man up and nut up and shut up and
Yeah.
rub dirt on it and you're good. That when you finally get somebody that goes, hey, how are you? You're like, what's wrong? What happened? What do I do?
Yeah. What did I do wrong?
And the gears just stopped working because we're just not used to it.
Just like, wait, you care about me?
Yeah, and it's sad because that's what we should be used to.
Exactly.
Like, we should be able to go like, oh, she loves me. That's it. Like, she just loves me. That's it. Not because of this or this or this. And it's like, we don't get to do that.
Yeah. But we'll touch more on that in a later episode.
Yep.
Of course.
But,
Again, this
yeah.
was more of just an intro, talking about who we are, bringing up random things right now that we are going to touch on. There will be somewhat of trigger warnings before episodes because we are going to get pretty personal and pretty dark.
Yeah.
So we're not here to scare you. We're not here to make you think of something and freak you out. And it's none of that.
Yeah. And we are in no means therapists. We're just
we're therapists for each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're our own therapists.
Yeah. We're just not licensed. That's what it is.
We do this because I feel safe and confident talking to these guys. I feel it's easier for me to open up to people that I know versus sitting in a room with someone I just met and telling them my whole life story.
And again, that may not be for you. It may be easier for you to go to a therapist, talk to them, because in the end, it will help you.
Yeah.
In the end, it will, because it will either teach you that's what you need or you don't need. But again, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid of being judged. Just do anything you can to recover. That's really what this is going to be about. It's going to be about finding out how you're broken and how you can get over it, and not rub dirt on it and get over it. It's more of actually understanding what it is and being able to put the pieces back together. That's the best way I'm going to be able to describe it. It's a lot easier to put the puzzle back together instead of trying to make a new puzzle.
Yeah.
And even if you don't know where to start looking for that help, hopefully by the time this comes out or at a later date, we'll have a Discord and other ways for you guys to get in contact with us where you can talk to us.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable with that. We're open, we're available, we can talk to you if you need it. Even if you just need an ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time these episodes start coming out, everything will be set up. We'll have Discord, more than likely email set up.
We'll have Discord, email, Instagram, Facebook. We might make a Twitter, a TikTok, whatever it is. And any social media that you see us on, even if you just want to email us. And I'll probably make a P.O. box if you guys really need that. And you need a handwritten letter saying that I love you, I will send that to you. I have no problem with that.
I would too, but my penmanship is horrible.
Yeah, yours they'd look at it and be like, why did you draw a giraffe?
Why did a 4-year-old write this?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've been looking at Chris's as we got into this room, and I'm not so sure he should be the one writing it either.
Oh, when he wants
you
to,
really
he can
think
write
this
nice.
is nice? Come on, shut up.
That's what I'm saying. It probably shouldn't be Chris.
No, I don't.
Mine's horrible as well. I mean,
yours is god awful. But no, at the end we will have all the different places for you to reach out to us, either to reach out for help, either just to give us feedback. Like, we don't care what it is. We just want to help you. Like, that's what this comes down to. This isn't we're trying to just, hey, this is what you should do because we're better than you. We're not at all. We just understand that sometimes you need somebody to talk to and sometimes you need to hear something as well. So we are going to be very truthful on this. We're not going to bring up fake stories. We're not doing all that. We are here to talk. We are here to help. This is mental recovery. We're going to help you. That's why I have 2 guys I trust forever with anything next to me. I knew that when we have this podcast going, there are a couple people I can trust with this, and I feel the same way, and I hope they feel the same way with me.
Absolutely.
Why are you guys doing it quieter? Like, I'm deaf. Stop it.
That's a good point. Didn't think about that.
All right, sorry. No.
Yeah, no.
Yes,
And if I ever get loud, sorry, I am deaf. So 70%. My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, that sums everything up. That's why we're doing this. We're doing this because we want to help in any way we can. And if you need it, if you know somebody who needs it, reach out. We'll even at the bottom of every video on YouTube or in the description or whatever, we will put
Everything.
But yeah, we'll set up the emails and you guys can contact us with whatever you need.
Yeah, any questions, any comments, any concerns, just anything at all. We'll be here. We'll answer everything as soon as we can. But like we said, this is going to be to recover. This is going to be to understand. This is going to be to learn. We're learning just as much as you guys are. There are stories that they haven't heard from me, and I'm positive there are stories I haven't heard from them. There's going to be more times that they're going to say something, and it's going to bring something back to my memory that I pushed down so far that I couldn't even remember. But hopefully by the end that we can do the same for you. Hopefully by the end that when you guys see it, you will also be able to understand, I never looked at it from this perspective, and it's nice to be able to understand myself. So
yeah.
Just know you're not alone. You're going to hear things from us that maybe you have gone through in a similar way or maybe even the exact same way. You are not alone in it. We are here to help you. We are here to help each other. Everybody's recovering alongside each other during this.
Exactly.
And we just want you to know that we're here for you if you need it. Even if you don't know if you need it, we are here. We can help. We just want someone to talk to, play a game with, We need friends.
Yeah, exactly. We will play. If you want to play Overwatch or Fortnite, whatever, we will jump on and play because we understand sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes it is. And so we will be here.
Need companionship.
Exactly. But our whole focus is for you to know that you are enough and that you are loved. And that recovery is something that we all need and we want to help. But we're going to be here. Whether you like it or not, we are here. So we're going to try to help. I guess we'll see you at the next podcast.
We don't know you yet, but we love you.
We'll see you soon.
I love you more. Except him. I don't love him. He's weird.